When John F. Kennedy boldly declared, "We choose to go to the moon," he wasn't just talking about space exploration. He was announcing America's commitment to technological dominance, a legacy that would echo through decades. Today, bearing his name, the USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79, represents the second evolution of America's most advanced aircraft carrier generation, designed to redefine naval warfare itself. But here's the question that keeps Pentagon strategists awake at night. Can a warship designed for 50 years of service truly adapt to the lightning-fast evolution of modern threats? But here's what the Pentagon doesn't want you to know. The threats facing this colossal warship aren't just theoretical. Hypersonic weapons, swarming stealth drones, and pervasive orbital surveillance represent a new kind of warfare that could render traditional naval power obsolete. Yet the Navy has invested everything in this floating fortress. Few weapons in history have shaped global conflict like the aircraft carrier. Since Japan commissioned its first carrier in 1922, these maritime giants have become the ultimate tools for projecting power across oceans. During World War II, US aircraft carriers turned the tide of naval battles, and they've remained crucial in every subsequent American conflict. Today, when international crises erupt, world leaders ask one critical question: where is the nearest American aircraft carrier? This floating city costs more than some countries' entire GDP. The USS John F. Kennedy's price tag is staggering. While the first Ford-class carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, cost an eye-watering $12.8 billion for the ship itself, plus $4.7 billion for research and development, the Navy has already invested $11.34 billion in CVN-79. That's enough money to build an entire city from scratch. To understand the sheer scale of this investment, imagine 3 NFL football fields laid end to end. The USS John F. Kennedy extends even further, stretching 1,106 feet beyond that distance. Its width of 256 feet dwarfs a Boeing 747's wingspan, and at 250 feet tall, this ship towers higher than Bavaria's iconic Neuschwanstein Castle, the inspiration for Disney's Enchanted Palaces. The construction timeline reveals the complexity behind this engineering marvel. While traditional aircraft carriers took around 5 years to build, the Ford class demanded significantly longer development. Construction of the USS Gerald R. Ford began in 2009, but the ship wasn't commissioned until 2017. However, considering the groundbreaking innovations packed into these 100,000-ton giants, few would argue this extended timeline was wasted. The heart of CVN-79 pulses with unprecedented power. 2 A-1B nuclear reactors, designed by Bechtel, generate an astonishing 700 megawatts of thermal power, representing a substantial 25% increase over the Nimitz-class reactor's 550 megawatts. This enhanced electrical output isn't just impressive numbers on paper. That's enough energy to power a city of 100,000 people. This massive power surge feeds one of the John F. Kennedy's most revolutionary features, the Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, or EMALS. This cutting-edge system utilizes linear induction motor catapults to replace the older, less efficient steam piston catapults. The advantages extend far beyond simple efficiency improvements. EMALS is lighter, more cost-effective to operate, and requires significantly less technical maintenance than its predecessors. The complete removal of bulky steam generation and storage equipment frees up considerable space below deck, optimizing the ship's internal layout in ways previous carriers couldn't achieve. This innovation dramatically boosts the number of aircraft sorties per day by an impressive 25%, while crucially reducing stress on aircraft airframes during launch. But electromagnets don't stop at launching aircraft. They're also ingeniously integrated into the Advanced Arresting Gear, AAG, braking system, replacing traditional hydraulic mechanisms for aircraft recovery. This change was primarily driven by the increasing use of drones by the US Navy and Air Force. The older hydraulic systems simply struggle to capture lighter, more delicate UAVs without causing excessive stress or outright damage. The AAG's turbo-electric engine can precisely absorb energy and significantly reduce impact on UAV airframes, ensuring their safe return. This capability opens entirely new operational possibilities that previous carriers couldn't support. The Navy aims to push the boundaries of what's possible with the Ford-class carriers. While CVN-78 can carry between 75 and 90 aircraft, helicopters, and UAVs, active discussions center on CVN-79 carrying a full 100 aircraft. However, whether this ambitious goal will be met with CVN-79 itself, or requires waiting for the third carrier, USS Enterprise CVN-80, scheduled for commissioning in September 2029, remains uncertain. CVN-79 is designed to host a diverse and formidable array of aircraft. This includes the latest Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II fighters, Boeing FA-18EF Super Hornet fighters, Grumman C-2 Greyhound transports, Boeing EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft, Northrop Grumman E-2, Hawkeye airborne early warning aircraft, and Sikorsky H-60 Seahawk helicopters. For drones, the primary focus centers on deploying Boeing MQ-25 Stingray unmanned refueling drones, which are being seamlessly integrated with the EMALS catapults and Ford-class arresting gear. The Navy also intends for these supercarriers to serve as forward operating bases for advanced reconnaissance and attack drones, potentially even resurrecting concepts like the formidable Northrop Grumman X-47B unmanned combat aerial vehicle. To effectively arm this impressive aerial contingent, the Ford class features 11 new advanced weapon elevators, AWE. These AWE, powered by electromagnetic motors, are incredibly fast, capable of traveling at speeds up to 150 feet per minute and transporting up to 24,000 pounds of ordnance from lower decks directly to aircraft on the main flight deck. This revolutionary design ensures ammunition movement avoids critical aircraft staging zones, eliminating potential bottlenecks and problems within hangars and on the deck. Consequently, aircraft can be rearmed in minutes instead of hours, dramatically increasing the peak number of sorties per day to an astounding 270. That's significantly higher, compared to the 180 sorties of the Nimitz-class predecessors. For prolonged conflicts, the sustained number of sorties over a month is projected to be around 160 per day. These numbers represent a fundamental transformation in naval aviation capabilities. But there's one threat that could make this entire ship obsolete overnight. The modern battlefield evolves faster than ever before. While the USS John F. Kennedy represents the pinnacle of naval engineering, it faces challenges that its designers are only beginning to understand. China possesses formidable weapons such as the DF-21D hypersonic anti-ship missiles, specifically designed to target large naval vessels like aircraft carriers. These weapons travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5, making traditional defense systems nearly useless. The time between detection and impact can be measured in minutes, not the hours that conventional warfare typically allows for response. Against such threats, even the most advanced aircraft carrier becomes a massive, slow-moving target. Swarming drone attacks represent another emerging threat that traditional naval defenses weren't designed to counter. Hundreds of small, autonomous drones could potentially overwhelm even the most sophisticated defensive systems through sheer numbers. Each drone might carry only a small warhead, but coordinated attacks could inflict catastrophic damage. Orbital surveillance adds another layer of complexity. Modern satellites can track naval movements in real time, making it nearly impossible for large vessels to achieve tactical surprise. The element of surprise, historically crucial in naval warfare, becomes increasingly difficult to maintain. The United States isn't standing still in the face of these challenges. The integration of combat lasers represents a revolutionary step forward in naval defense. While progress on other advanced systems remains classified, laser weapon testing has shown promising results for years. Over a decade ago, the USS Ponce successfully demonstrated a 40-kilowatt laser's capabilities by sinking a motorboat, disarming drones, and detonating rocket-propelled grenades. More recently, in February 2024, the USS Preble completed successful tests of its high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, Helios, destroying an unmanned aerial target. The Helios system, developed by Lockheed Martin, emerged as a formidable contender for Ford-class carriers. It presents several critical advantages that address the evolving threat landscape. Unlike traditional kinetic weapons, lasers offer unlimited ammunition as long as power remains available, and they can engage multiple targets in rapid succession. A notable difference between the USS John F. Kennedy and the USS Gerald R. Baum Ford involves the installation of an updated Enterprise Air Surveillance Radar, EASR system. The decision to switch from the dual-band radar, which combined S-band and X-band radars, was primarily driven by cost efficiency. CVN-79 maintained excellent operational efficiency while saving over $350 million for taxpayers. The EASR represents a more easily scalable, cheaper, and unified radar system designed for various U.S. Navy ships, simultaneously reducing logistics and personnel training costs across the fleet. CVN-79's inherent armament includes a robust defensive suite, 2 RIM 162 Evolved Sea Sparrow ESSM surface-to-air missile launchers, 2 RIM 116 Rolling Airframe Missile RAM surface-to-air missile launchers, 3 Phalanx Close-In Weapon Systems CIDUS, 4 Mk38 25mm machine gun systems, and 4 M2 Browning 50 caliber machine guns. These armaments prove absolutely crucial, especially considering potential clashes with technologically advanced rivals like China, which possesses formidable weapons specifically designed to counter American naval superiority. The CVN-79, currently under construction at Newport News Shipbuilding, is expected to be commissioned before the end of 2025. This timeline aligns perfectly with the Navy's ambitious FY 2025 to 2054 shipbuilding plan, which aims to increase the number of cruisers and destroyers to 381, including a robust force of 12 supercarriers, with 10 of those being Gerald R. Ford-class vessels. This expansion represents more than simple numbers. It signals America's commitment to maintaining naval dominance in an era of increasing global competition. The investment in advanced carrier technology demonstrates confidence that these platforms will remain relevant despite emerging threats. The strategic implications extend beyond military considerations. Aircraft carriers serve as symbols of national power and technological capability. When the USS John F. Kennedy enters service, it will represent America's technological advancement to allies and potential adversaries alike. However, the question remains, will these massive investments prove worthwhile? The rapid pace of technological change means that weapon systems designed today might face obsolescence tomorrow. The challenge lies not just in building advanced warships, but in ensuring they can adapt to threats that haven't been invented yet. The USS John F. Kennedy represents both the culmination of decades of naval aviation development and the beginning of a new era in maritime warfare. Its advanced systems, from electromagnetic catapults to laser weapons, push the boundaries of what's possible at sea. Yet the true test of these innovations won't come in controlled demonstrations or training exercises. It will come when these systems face the unpredictable challenges of real conflict against adversaries who have spent years studying American naval capabilities and developing countermeasures. The integration of artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and advanced sensors suggest that future naval warfare will be faster, more complex, and more decisive than ever before. The side that can process information faster, make decisions more quickly, and adapt more effectively will hold tremendous advantages. The USS John F. Kennedy and its sister ships represent America's bet that traditional naval power projection, enhanced by cutting-edge technology, will remain relevant in this new era. Whether this bet proves correct will shape naval strategy for generations to come. Considering these incredible developments and the ever-evolving nature of warfare, the fundamental question remains unanswered. Will aircraft carriers maintain their relevance in the 2050s amidst future, less obvious threats? The answer may determine the balance of global power for decades to come. The USS John F. Kennedy stands as testament to American naval engineering and strategic thinking. But in a world where technology advances at breakneck speed, even the most advanced warship must prove its worth not just against today's threats, but against the unknown challenges of tomorrow. Will aircraft carriers dominate the 2050s? Subscribe so you don't miss our analysis of China's response to this floating fortress.